Suarez.
What's going on?
Not too much. I just wanted to hear from your opinion. How did you think that 37 Alpha went?
I mean, at the very end of the conclusion, I think it went well, but there was a lot of hiccups that I wasn't like happy with.
Tell me about it. I want to hear this. I want to hear feedback.
Well, okay. So first, so like, I don't know. I've always been under the impression that like, especially with being spoken to about aggressiveness, that there's unless we need to escalate or go for pitbox spike, don't go for it unless the situation calls for it. I was leading the scene. They were just driving. Before this all took place, I received a phone call from the Mandem. The Mandem were obviously doing this. They told me. He said they had like this whole cool little thing set up. Anyways, I typically don't like call for a pit box spike unless the situation calls for it, or the pursuit's been going on for a while, or unless we have a reason to get aggressive. So in the middle of the pursuit, Den pulled over to the side and called me on the phone. He said, "Hey, High Command's been talking lately, and they're tired of not enforcing the pit box spike thing at the beginning." And he told me, like, he was nice about it. He wasn't like being a dick or anything, but he said like, so yeah, you need to go for pit box spike.
What did he say?
He said High Command's been talking about like how no one's been enforcing going for pit box spikes on 37 alphas. And I was like, okay, well, if that's what you want, I mean, it's at the end of the day, you're High Command, you can call that. And then he.
Did he say who in High Command said this?
No, he just said High Command. I mean, you want me to? I could give you his exact words. He said High Command's been bitching lately about this not being enforced. So I just want you to, go pitbox spike. So, anyways, that happened. That's when I called pitbox spike. At that time, the pursuit had been going on maybe like 10 minutes. And he was just driving alone. I didn't see a reason to really get aggressive yet. But anyways, that's when I called for it when he called me. No, after that, spikes went down the car. That went well. Near the beginning, there was a lot of units, but I tried to make it very clear that we only want 6-3 on the car and then 3 running parallel. I didn't see too many units get involved till later when the interference get involved. But at that point, we needed the backup. But the limit, the units, was a little worried about. But like I said, I didn't see over like 6 until interference got involved, like actually on my like GPS, and I didn't get a chance to really like look and see how many. But at any rate, that happened. Interference spiked. We had a tough time boxing. Obviously that was just, I mean, I don't think there's anything better we could have done there. I kept trying to emphasize to the Crown Vic Explorers that with these 2 tires out, a lot of times we would have a box attempt and it would take about 1-2 minutes to try to box it. And at that time I said, cover the west, get the east, and then when he leaves, you try to spike it. A lot of times I felt like there was a couple Crown Vics that weren't doing anything, but just kind of sitting there, like, rolling around. But there was definitely some people that were going for spikes, like Cade. I know Han was, I know I went for spikes at one point. But that happened. We got the armored car secure. That's when he swapped. We spiked the swap car. So one thing that really bothered me near the end there, when they swapped to a motorbike.
Well, before we go forward,
okay.
Actually, you know what? No, keep going, and then I'll go back.
Okay. I know I'm skipping a little bit of parts here, but the one thing that bothered me near the end was they were on a bike and we were chasing the bike. And like, I didn't call for them to be kicked off the bike or anything like that. I was just, enjoying the chase and doing the chase. At that time, all Dave did was really swap. So I didn't think it was necessary to kick him off the bike. But at any rate, Lucas spoke to me briefly. He said that Minio kept passing, the motor units on the corners. And eventually, Minio ended up kicking them or batoning them off the bike. That's when they got out, and then they started shooting because they got kicked off the bike. So that happened. No officers went down, of course, but it did get a little split near the end because we had so many interference and we had got the armored car. But for what I thought we had a lot of units, I felt we could manage. For example, we had Crown Vic Explorers picking up the cars after they went disabled, and then we had units, a sufficient amount of units I felt on each car eventually, maybe not originally, but eventually got to that point, or at least that's what I believed was happening. So overall though, I'd say there was a lot of hiccups, but in a couple different areas. But yeah, we did get the stuff. I just didn't like some of the ways of how we went about it, at least near the end, at least. So